This is a video about how to make a podcast. So before we start, just realize that you have this folder in your Google Drive, this folder called Screencastify. It's made automatically. The first time you use Screencastify, you don't have to create it yourself. And that is where all of your videos will be stored when you make them using Screencastify. Let's go to the top of my folders list, and you'll see I also made a folder. This one right here called 00 Podcast. That's where I'm going to store all the stuff that I use for my podcast, my audio files, my Google slide presentation. And I put the 00 in front so it comes to the top of the list and it's easy to find. Okay, so in there right now really is just this Google slide presentation. So I just made 3 slides. These are kind of placeholders for my audio files. Okay. I'm back in my Screencastify folder, and you can see right here I've made 3 videos. These will become my podcasts. I call them E1 for episode 1, E2, and E3. So now I'm going to extract the audio track from these videos. So to do that, I'm going to come back up to the upper right to my extensions folder. Looks like a little puzzle piece up here. Click on that and launch Screencastify. And you'll notice I'm not going to hit the record button, but I'm going to hit this button right here, which is going to show me my videos within Screencastify, the program. So I click on that. And here I can see E1, E2, and E3. So let's open up episode 1 or E1. Okay, and I'm not going to hear it because it's muted right now, but I don't need to hear it. So let me just pause it. I just need to export it as an MP3. So if you notice in the lower right here, it says export video. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't need to see that. That's fine. I'm going to scroll down and notice right here I can export it as an MP3. So that is just an audio file. So I choose that. Okay, it prepares the video, and then you go ahead and you download it here, and it goes into the downloads folder on your Chromebook. So I'm going to do that to all 3 episodes.
So this is how you would move a file from the Chromebook's hard drive to your Google Drive. So I need this app right here. I need to use this app. It's called the Files app. I pinned it down here. I pinned it by coming to the donut over here. I found the app right here, and then I just did a right click and pin to shelf. Okay, so now it's down here. So I'm going to launch that app. And when I launch that app, it's going to give me, along the left-hand side, it's going to give me any downloads. That means they're on the hard drive of this Chromebook. It's also going to give me my Google Drive right here. And I can hit this little triangle next to it, and it'll open up my Google Drive. And I can see right here, there's my 00 Podcasts folder. So if I choose downloads, I can see right here I've got 3 different episodes, E1, E2, and E3, and I need to move those to my Google Drive. So all I'm going to do is just select the audio file, this is an MP3, and just drag it and drop it into that podcast folder. Okay, and it's going to move it over there, or copy it over there, I should say. Okay, there's number 2. And here's number 3. Okay, so now I copied them onto my Google Drive. If I close this app and I go to my Google Drive and I open up that podcast folder, now I can see that my audio files have made it into my Google Drive.
So now I've extracted the audio file from my video file. I've moved them to this 00 podcast folder right here. So if I open that up, I will see right here, here's episode 1, 2, and 3, and I can see by the extension MP3 that these are audio files right now. So now I can come back to my podcast slideshow here, and I'm going to insert episode 1 audio file into episode 1 slide. So to do that, I come to the insert menu right here, go ahead and select that, come down to where it says audio. Okay, and it's in my Google Drive in this folder right here. Okay, and here's episode 1, insert. It's going to put a little icon of a speaker on my slide here. And you can put this wherever you want. You can make it bigger or smaller, whatever you like. So episode 1 is on there. So I'm going to do the same for episodes 2 and 3 in slides 2 and 3. Okay, so I've inserted the audio file on each of my 3 Google Slides right here. And obviously you can put graphics and text on these Google Slides. I'm just keeping mine very plain. And then when I go to play it right here, like so, I would see graphics or text. I would just click on the speaker or the little triangle here.
This is podcast episode.
And it go ahead and it will play my audio file.
This is podcast episode number 2.
And so on.
This is podcast episode number 3.
Okay, so that is how you, using Screencastify on a Chromebook, can record video, extract the audio file, and then insert it back into a Google Slide presentation for your podcast.